They say that a single spark can start a forest fire, and a single word can shift the trajectory of a human life. We spend our days surrounded by noise, notifications, opinions, the endless chatter of a world that never sleeps. But in the middle of all this chaos, there are certain truths that remain silent, waiting for us to find them. For a long time, there has been a search for the greatest quote ever. Not just a clever sentence, but a foundation, a piece of architecture for the soul. Think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you reacted to a situation only to regret it later? How many times have you felt like a leaf in the wind, blown around by the moods of others or the luck of the day? The first step in this journey is the realization of the gap between what happens to us and how we respond. There is an ancient proverb that states, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." Imagine for a moment a person who stops being a victim of their environment. If the rain falls, they do not curse the sky. If a stranger is unkind, they do not lose their peace. They have realized the first pillar of the core, that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This isn't just a thought, it is a shield. When you stop complaining, you stop leaking power. When you stay silent in the face of chaos, you retain the authority of a king. But wisdom without action is merely a dream. To find the greatest truth, one must enter the forge. This is where the concepts meet reality. It is easy to be calm when the sea is smooth, but a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Consider the person who wants to change their life. They look at the mountain and feel overwhelmed. They want the summit, but they hate the climb. They try to change everything in a single day, only to wake up the next morning feeling defeated. This is the trap of intensity. The solution is found in a different kind of strength: consistency. The greatest wisdom tells us that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Not a leap, but a step. If a student commits to mastering just the first hour of their day, they have already won the war. By winning that small window of time, the rest of the day begins to fall into place. Think of a single drop of water. It is soft, it is weak, it has no edges, and yet, over time, that single drop can hollow out a stone, not through force, but through persistence. To build the muscle of the soul, one does not need a giant transformation. One needs 1,000 tiny victories, repeated every single day. The forge is not a place of pain. It is a place of refinement. It is where the iron of your habits is sharpened into the sword of your destiny. We have travelled through the awakening and the forge, but we have yet to reach the centre. Why is it that some people possess all the knowledge in the world, yet they remain restless? The answer lies in the ego. There is an old story of a scholar who went to visit a master. The scholar talked and talked, showing off his learning. The master began to pour tea into the scholar's cup. He kept pouring until the tea spilled over the table. The scholar cried out, "Stop! The cup is full." The master replied, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions. How can I show you the truth unless you first empty your cup?" This is the hardest part of the journey, to unlearn. To admit that what we think we know might be the very thing holding us back. To build a truly strong foundation, one must practice the art of silence. If you spend 10 minutes in absolute silence every day, not planning your future, not regretting your past, but just being present, the solutions to your biggest problems will begin to surface. The world is loud, but power is quiet. The greatest quote ever is not found in a book. It is found in the way you live. It is the realization that you are the architect, the stone, and the sculptor. You must accept what you cannot change with total grace. You must take violent action on the things you can change. And you must always, always stay centered. Consider the tree that stands tall in the middle of a storm. We admire the branches, but it is the roots that keep it alive. If your roots are shallow, even a small breeze will topple you. Most people spend their lives decorating their branches, trying to look strong for the world, while their roots are rotting. True strength is invisible. It is the work you do when no one is watching. It is the discipline you keep when you are tired. It is the integrity you hold when it would be easier to lie. This journey of mastery is not about becoming someone else. It is about stripping away the noise and the ego that has been piled on top of who you truly are. It is a return to your core. Every proverb you hear, every piece of ancient wisdom is simply a reminder of a truth you already carry inside you. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a single drop. The world will try to distract you. It will try to tell you that happiness is found in the next purchase, the next achievement, or the next validation from a stranger. But the greatest quote ever tells us otherwise. It tells us that peace is an inside job. It tells us that the kingdom of heaven is within. When you stop looking outward for the answer and start looking inward, the search ends. The journey doesn't end here. It begins the moment you put down your distractions and take your first conscious step. The path is open. The wisdom is yours. Now take the step. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. And above all, stay centered. The core is waiting for you to return.